California cooking, here's what's coming up on today's show. Molly Baz wants to help you become a better, more efficient cook. Her new cookbook filled with easy-to-make recipes and creative twists on a lot of things, like her potato salad that she's sharing with me today. Then it's my go-to ingredient. It's always in my freezer, puff pastry, and I'm using it to make these really quick and easy appetizers. And then crispy shrimp piled high on a hoagie roll with creamy remoulade dressing. Levi and I are making shrimp po' boys. Then forget the store-bought hummus. I'm showing you how easy it is to make from scratch. Cook This Book has only been out a short time, but it's already a bestseller on Amazon. Molly Baz shares her modern guide to cooking, and she tells me how to make this really cool twist on a potato salad using homemade Caesar dressing. I think it's a recipe I'm going to be making all summer long. Take a look. Hi, Molly.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Nice to be here.
Oh, okay. Molly and I had a chance to chat for a couple of minutes while we were working out all the kinks. I learned the coolest story about. I think this is like, you know, those moments in life where you just kind of take this big leap of faith, and you and your husband lived in Brooklyn, New York, pre-pandemic, like March, and you took a family vacation to LA, and you literally never went back to New York.
I mean, there were dirty dishes in the sink when I left, and I was like, it was like one of those vacations where I was like, I'm not organized enough. Like, I'll deal with it when I get home. I need to get on vacation. And then never went home to those dirty dishes and just had someone pack it all up and move it across country. And here we are. So I've been in LA now for a year.
Now you've got this great cookbook, Cook This Book.
Oh my God, you have it.
And
I
look,
didn't know you had it.
You've got little, that means it's a good book when you put the tabs in there. What is different about your cookbook? Because there's a lot of cookbooks on the market, but I think you've got some really like innovative ideas that I haven't really seen before.
At the heart of it, it's a foundational cookbook. So it's really about driving home the importance of good technique in the kitchen and how laying that framework is like what will set you up for success as a cook. But that then the other part of the equation, once you've mastered technique, is understanding flavor and how to build flavor and think about your ingredients and the way they relate to one another. What I think is innovative about it, and the part that I'm truly the most excited about, is that there are QR codes that are printed inside the book throughout the recipes. And you use the camera app on your phone and you open them up and it pulls up a video that I have hosted teaching you a technique from the book.
I just did it.
Like, it's cool, right?
Oh, it is so cool. And let me tell you why it's cool. Because this is, by the way, sounds delicious. The pastrami roast chicken with schmaltzy onions and dill. But when you click on that little QR code, it teaches you how to carve a chicken, which is brilliant.
This is carve a whole chicken, take one.
But it's so smart because when you do recipes, and like we'll have people tell us all the time, like, well, how do you do that? And there's stuff that sometimes cannot be explained other than like a tutorial like that.
That was totally the idea behind it. Like, knowing that my readership is like a really young portion of the population and that they have their phones in their hands at all times anyway, it was kind of a no-brainer. Like, the entire book is then supported visually as well.
Where did your love of food and cooking and like, you know, initially working at Bon Appetit, like where did that come from for you?
The moment that I knew that I wanted to pursue a career in food was when I was living in Florence for like a semester abroad during college. And I was there to study art history in a program my school had, but got like very distracted by the food. And I lived with this little old lady named Graciela, and she would cook for me every night. She would go to the market every day and then cook for me when I came home from school every night. And I was just like blown away by her food. It was super simple and rustic, but like just so delicious. And I think that's the moment that I was like, I need to learn how to cook, like really professionally, and I'm gonna pursue this.
Any recipes that you still make from the woman you lived with?
Actually, there's a recipe in the book it's her pomodoro sauce. Graciela's pasta al pomodoro.
In honor
so
of
that was
Graciela.
her name.
Aww.
And there's the book and there's the recipe. So yeah, still very inspired by what I learned there.
we're gonna make, I think this is really smart too because I love anything Caesar. And you do it though with potatoes, which I think is genius.
In the book, there's a recipe for like the classic Caesar salad. It is like, for me, the iconic dish, but I wanted to do a version of it where I took that dressing and then tossed it with potatoes, because what is potato salad? It's boiled potatoes with some kind of like seasoned up mayonnaise, and what is Caesar dressing? It's seasoned up mayonnaise. So why not have Caesar potato salad? Instead of going through the trouble of making your own mayonnaise, what we're gonna do here, and you can actually get started, is we're gonna do a cheater's Caesar dressing, starting with a couple, I think it's 3 anchovy fillets in oil and 1 garlic clove.
Okay.
And you'll smash the garlic, and I like to put a little pinch of salt like right on top of the smashed garlic, and then kind of like paddle it and work it into a paste on your cutting board. And then you do the same thing to the anchovies. You chop them up a little bit first and then kind of paddle them all together into an anchovy garlic paste, which will be the sort of backbone of flavor of this cheater's Caesar dressing. So to that, you're gonna add a tablespoon of Dijon mustard and then about 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. Lots of black pepper, because that's also key in a good Caesar dressing. And the juice of 1 lemon. Now, I like to also add a couple tablespoons of olive oil just to kind of round out the flavor. Then whisk.
Easy peasy, okay.
This is Caesar-ish dressing because there's no cheese in it. And then season it with salt.
Okay.
And then you already boiled
I did.
a couple pounds of baby potatoes, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I have those too, and mine are at room temperature. A bunch of these little baby Yukon Golds, which are super sweet and creamy, and you can eat the skins. And I just like to crush them or break them as I add them to the dressing, because exposing the insides allows the insides to soak up some of the dressing, and so the potato salad ends up more flavorful than if you were to leave them whole and the dressing would just be on the outside. You know, with the classic potato salad, there sometimes is like chopped celery or just something to provide a little relief from all the starch and fat. And so this potato salad features radishes that get really thinly sliced, they have a little bit of bite and a little bit of texture, and they're a nice kind of like contrast to the potato. My favorite herb of all time, and I'm curious how you feel about this, dill.
Dill is my favorite. Taste. That is super flavorful. All right, Molly, it's been real, and I'm gonna go eat my bowl of potato salad. Have a bite, and then pat yourself on the back, because that's good. Bye,
Thank
Molly.
you. Bye.
Molly's potato salad was so flavorful. It's that Caesar dressing, which is such a cool twist, but also a little tip she taught me, put tons of salt in that boiling water for your potatoes. It makes all the difference. Coming up, Levi and I are transporting you to New Orleans with our fried shrimp po' boys. Then I'm making hummus from scratch, and it is so easy. First, I'm making a really quick and easy appetizer I had at a friend's house. You need puff pastry and just a couple other things. They're really good. That's coming up next. Frozen puff pastry is a home cook's best friend, at least in my opinion. It's always in my freezer, so I thought, what if I take that puff pastry and then all of those yummy ingredients you find in a spanakota and make puff pastry pinwheels? Boy, are they good. Take a look. This recipe is a variation of a recipe that my good friend Maytal made. And she is honestly, Ari always tells me this, he goes, I love your cooking, but Maytal's food is just, it is so good. Every time we go to their house to eat, we always say yes, let's put it that way. So this is a, kind of like a pinwheel. So I'm gonna take some frozen puff pastry, roll it out. She put kind of pizza toppings in there, like a tomato sauce, olives, mozzarella. I'm gonna do like a spanakota twist on her pinwheel. So it's just one of those things when you have some pie dough or some puff pastry dough in the freezer, it's the perfect thing to do with it. Now, the thing about puff pastry, you wanna put it in the fridge for a while so it gets nice and pliable because it does come frozen. But I'm gonna use my sheet of puff pastry and I'm gonna roll it out a little bit. So you wanna flour your board. You just wanna even it out. Beautiful. For the filling. Spanakota, you know, the Greek dish with spinach and mint and dill and everything. So I'm gonna make a mixture that you're gonna wanna spread. So in the mixer, I'm gonna do some room temperature cream cheese. So let it sit out for a little bit. I have frozen spinach that I thawed in the microwave for like a minute and a half, and then I squeezed all of the water out of there because a ton of water is in frozen spinach. Before I add my green onion, I don't wanna put them in raw. So I might just cook these up in a skillet just for a few minutes. A nice fresh bunch of dill, some fresh mint, handful. The garlic I'm gonna add in there, I'm gonna cook that for a little bit too. So let's get this going a little bit. Okay. So that's turned into what would be a spreadable mixture, but we're gonna add a few more things. So let's get this back on. A little salt on our green onion, a little lemon zest, just to wake up the flavors, a tiny bit of nutmeg, pinch of nutmeg. To that, a clove of garlic. Turn it off, and we're good. Green onion's cooked, garlic is heated through. And now we're gonna add the onion mixture. Blend that up one more time. Okay, now, to that, some feta cheese. Pulse it. Okay, done. I'm gonna put this on our puff pastry. I'm gonna try to do a thin layer. Let's see where we're at here. I'm gonna add a little mozzarella cheese sprinkled on top. Here we go. And we roll. Because you wanna get these pinwheel shapes, and I'll show you how that happens. There we go, beautiful. Just to get this seam closed up here. Now, the cutting part, which makes me a little nervous because you want it to still look pretty. So I'm gonna just cut this end off, and then we make pinwheels. You wanna get the egg wash, but it'd be easier to do it before you cut them. One little added touch. I'm gonna sprinkle some sesame seeds on top. We've got our tray. Put these cuties on here. I'm gonna pop these in the oven. I have a 400-degree oven. And you just watch them. You want them to get nice and golden brown and everything melted in the middle. Look at that. All right, going in. Our pinwheels are done. Look, they're really cute. They almost remind me of pizza bagels. Remember you used to get pizza bagels, just the way they get all cheesy and bubbly on top? What I would do, I think these are the perfect snack for kids during the afternoon. I think this could also be the greatest little appetizer with a glass of wine or something like that, just to show you how cute they are. I'll line them up. Ta-da, there are cute little Spanakota pinwheels. That was so easy, the perfect little bite if you're having a glass of wine or something like that, and the kids love them. I think next time I'm gonna have to try that pizza version. Coming up, shrimp po' boys. Enough said. Levi and I are putting together this mouth-watering sandwich. It's full of fried shrimp and a spicy sauce. Then I'm making hummus from scratch, and it is so easy. That's coming up next. I love a good sandwich, and this one is sure to make your mouth water. It's crispy fried shrimp piled high on a toasted hoagie roll with a creamy remoulade. Take a look. Levi, I gave you a dirty job today. Can you clean the shrimp for me?
Yeah.
Can you take the shells off?
Where are the shells?
This pile in here, those have shells. And then the ones I put in this bowl have no shells. Today, we're gonna make, so when Mommy was in college, I worked at a restaurant called Lulu's Bait Shack in Orlando,
What's
Florida.
Orlando?
Where Disney is, Disney
In
World.
Orlando.
That's where Mickey lives.
Yeah, look at that.
So I worked at Lulu's Bait Shack, which was a kind of a Cajun restaurant, and we had shrimp po' boys on the menu. Do you know what a shrimp po' boy is? It's a,
Sandwich.
yes, it is. It is a fried shrimp sandwich. I thought it'd be fun to make a shrimp sandwich that I remember from the days when I worked there. Have you pulled the shells off?
Yeah.
I don't know, I see some in here. Oh good, yep, pull the tail off. Perfect.
Pull the legs.
All the legs off. Oh, we got them all. Last one. You've got one and I've got one and we're done. Are you ready to bread the shrimp? Okay.
What's breading this?
So I'll show you. Here's some buttermilk. You could use regular milk, but I happen to have buttermilk. Will you crack the egg for me? Yeah. Poke your finger in. Boink. I'm gonna give you a fork. Stir the egg and the buttermilk. Actually, to the shrimp. Garlic powder. Okay, let's do some Creole seasoning.
Creole seasoning.
Some smoked paprika. Your job, Levi, is I'm gonna pour this into our buttermilk and our egg. Will you mix up the shrimp in the egg?
Yeah.
In this bowl, some flour and some cornmeal to give it that extra little crunch of the cornmeal. Some more Cajun spice, some more garlic. Let's stir that around. Okay, you ready to fry up some shrimp? We're ready. Let's add a few to our mixture. Levi, this is gonna be so good. Okay, you ready? Oh yeah, look at this little fry action. So I have some safflower oil, because that's what I had, but any light kind of frying oil would be perfect. Shrimp cooks really fast. Look at these beautiful brioche buns that are split on top, and I toasted them with a little bit of butter and garlic powder. Now, here's the thing. I wanted iceberg lettuce, and traditionally I believe that's what's on a po' boy. They didn't have iceberg. So now I have this fancy lettuce, but it's crunchy and it's lettuce, so it'll do. Look at these gorgeously golden shrimp we made. Look at that. Gotta get some nice salt on top of those when they're hot. Are you ready to make a little remoulade? So you're gonna be my stir. First comes mayo, so will you do the honors and squeeze a good amount of mayo? Perfect. Some Dijon, some horseradish,
Yeah, horseradish.
some smoked paprika, some sweet and sour pickles, bread and butter pickles. Do you like hot sauce?
No. Too spicy.
Just a little. Squeeze a lemon. Okay, give that a stir. Maybe a little bit of that Creole. Okay, close your mouth and eyes. Here's what we're gonna do. Lettuce, our tomatoes, and now we place these cuties. Here's what we're gonna do. Oh boy. Ta-da! I can't wait to taste those. While you suck on a lemon, I'm gonna try a shrimp po' boy. You wanna try with me? Not even one bite? Why not? I just can't decide. That's a pretty sandwich. Good sauce you made. The shrimp is crispy. The remoulade, not spicy, just tons of flavor, kind of tangy. And the bread, buttery, yum. It's like I'm back at Lulu's Bait Shack. How's your lemon? Oh my gosh, I think shrimp po' boys are my new favorite thing. Levi gave up on me, but he doesn't know what he's missing out on. From shrimp po' boys to one of my favorite dips, I'm making hummus from scratch. This is my favorite snack, or it could actually be a big component of a meal. I'm gonna do some homemade hummus, or hummus, as my husband always corrects me. Before I show you how easy it is, I'm going to make a little something to dip in our hummus. And this is the lavash bread. I'll cut it into triangles. Drizzle that with a A little olive oil. I have something called dukkha, and it's got almonds, sesame seeds, fennel seeds, coriander, anise, kosher salt. Great for something like this to make like pita chips. Put those in a hot oven onto our hummus. Chickpeas, garbanzo beans, can of them, rinsed and drained, going in. This is what you need, tahini, and tahini is ground sesame seeds. That's it. A big pinch of salt, squeeze a lemon, 1 smallish clove of garlic, drizzle of olive oil. That's it. I'm gonna add some water to it just to thin it out at some point, but here goes. Okay, cold water. Okay. Are we good? Did we get the desired? Yum. I like it. And what's so great, you can make any kind of combination you want of hummus. You could put roasted garlic, you could put roasted peppers. It's really endless. Our lavash bread have toasted. This took 2 minutes. Got our cucumbers, maybe some beautiful tomatoes we'll put around. And I'm gonna put it in this bowl. Smoked paprika, just to make it look pretty. A drizzle of olive oil, and there you have your homemade hummus, yummy chips, and a little something to snack on. That was a snap. If you want the recipe, you can follow us on Instagram at KTLA California Cooking. Thank you guys for being with us. We'll see you next time. Cool potato salad using Caesar dressing. What? Caesar dressing? I don't know. How's your lemon?
Sweet.